Hey, so I just came back from ice hockey and that was one of the things on my winter to-do list. So I'm really glad I did that. It was just so much fun. I've never been to an ice hockey game before, so it was really new to me. And I liked it a lot. It actually reminded me a lot of basketball, which I used to go to pretty frequently a few years ago. And now I moved to a new city and it's kind of nice to have a sport that is similar to that. And yeah, that just is really exciting as well. Here in Germany, a lot of people are more into soccer, or as it is actually called football. But that's kind of not my thing that much. I mean, I don't mind watching the games, and I also think it's really interesting to watch it if there's like a championship going on, something exciting, but most of the time I think it's a little bit too slow for my taste. So I'm more into more fast-paced games like basketball, for example, and ice hockey seems to be like that as well. And I got really lucky today because the team that I rooted for won. So that was a great first experience, I would say, even though they didn't play as well. At least that's what I heard from the people I was with. But it was really cool and I really liked the whole atmosphere around it. I liked the food that they had. Just in general, it was really nice. And it definitely gave me a lot of wintry feels because one, there's ice. Two, it was a bit cold. And yeah, also it's just kind of wholesome, even though people are just crushing into each other in that game. I didn't expect it to be that violent, but apparently that's that. And hey, at least now I know what all of these ice hockey rooms are all about, right? That was my evening. Really cool. I think I would really like to go again. And I also saw that in the arena we were in, you can actually go ice skating there when they're not having games. So that is also one point that is pretty high on my winter bucket list. And I would love to go ice skating again. I haven't done it for a few years now because I never had the time or the place, and now that would be a good opportunity to go there. I'm not good at it or anything, it's just something I do for fun in winter sometimes, and it reminds me of my childhood, so yeah. Would be really cool to do that if I can still manage to go this winter. And I started another book. The book is called Merry Christmas by Piper Rain, and this is actually not a new to me author, but it kind of feels like it. Because I have read one book by this author and it was a part of a series that I accidentally picked up because it was a part of the series in the end and I didn't read any part of the series before that. So yeah, that was why I didn't really connect with it, I guess. And I don't remember anything about it anyway, so I'm just treating this as if I don't know this author at all. Because this beginning of the book was really good so far. I really liked it. It is about two characters whose names I cannot remember, but there's the FMC and she goes to this conference, or she's invited to this conference, and she's, I think, on her way to her family as well, and she checks in to this hotel because there's going to be an interview tomorrow. And then in the elevator, she meets a guy. And that guy is someone that she has known from when she did her semester abroad in the UK. And so it's a British guy. And you can definitely feel the tension between these two from the very beginning, because she doesn't seem to like him that much. And you can gather from the context that he has done something to piss her off a lot. And that is so fun. It is a very interesting beginning because you're just wondering, what happened between these two? And it turns out that he was her TA back then and that they also slept together. I think before they knew that. So you can just guess that whole thing from the first conversation that happens in the first few pages. And I think it is a really interesting setup because it's kind of I guess, a second chance romance then. It turns out that the two of them are staying on the same floor in the hotel, and I think there's going to be a few more of these encounters that just happen by chance. I don't really know what the Christmas part of the romance is yet, but I'm looking forward to it because so far the writing style is really good. I think the part about her going to her family for Christmas is going to play a big role in this, maybe, at least kind of sounds like it to me. And yeah, I'm really excited for this one because I think there could be a lot of just tension between the main characters, a good character development, a good relationship arc, and yeah, kind of some justified drama in this book, because so far you can really understand both sides. You have a dual point of view. You can really understand why both of them are acting the way they are acting and why they have acted the way they acted in the past. And I think that's always a good starting point for a second chance romance, when you can just see both sides. So yeah, that was my evening. I had a lot of fun, and I will update you when I am further into the book or when I will do something Christmas themed again. Okay, so this is the same spot but different clip. It's actually a day later, but nothing has happened really besides me reading. I just wanted to give you a quick update on Merry Christmas, because I'm actually now over halfway, I think even 2/3 into the book, and so far it's been really good, really interesting. I like it. So, what happened so far is that it turned out that the male main character is not only interviewing for the same position that she is interviewing for, but he also spends Christmas with his cousin, I think, and his cousin happens to spend Christmas with her family because of some, he's in a relationship with the sister of some, I don't know. But they both spent Christmas together with her family. And they just meet at the airport, and it's so cute. And oh my god, and he's really trying so hard to get back with her and to just make her give him a chance, which is the cutest fucking thing that I've heard in my entire life. Just somebody really fighting for someone. That is just, I wish that would happen more in romance novels and in real life. Just people really fighting for the people they love. That is just so underrated. Especially nowadays, I feel like people tend to give up pretty easily, and I'm not a fan of that. So I think, yeah, this is very, very cute, and I really enjoy that in this romance novel, that he is really making an effort and really trying to convince her to get back with him because he messed up. But that's okay, because they were both still so young, and there's really a valid reason for him behaving the way that he did. And I think this is just the perfect setup for a second chance romance. I think I've said that in the last clip, but anyways, it's really nice. And then in this book, they also have this subplot of the family having these games that they're playing every single Christmas. And they basically have these competitions where you have to work together in a pair. And of course, who has to work together? Maybe it's also the family meddling a bit. But yeah, the two have to work together in a team to just do all of these different challenges. And I like it. It's really fun. I like that it has like a decent subplot as well with the families and all of the side characters. And I think it is part of a series actually, because there have been some callbacks to things that I had no clue about and I couldn't really understand, but didn't matter, because anyways, if you have read the series, I think that these would be nice callbacks to the other books in the series, and like this, they're just nice ways of making the characters more dimensional and feeling more like real people. So, as you can tell, I'm really enjoying this. This is really the Christmas spirit for me, because they're also going skiing and snowboarding, and yeah, it's just all these wintry things. And of course, all of the challenges are connected to Christmas as well. And yeah, I think So far, this is probably one of the better Christmas romances I've read, because a lot of them tend to be overly cheesy, which this one isn't so far, or just really boring. And yeah, this one is just hitting the right spot for me. And I'm really excited to keep reading this. I mean, we all know how it's probably going to end, but this was just one that was also really quick read for me. As you can tell, it didn't take me very long to get through all of this. And yeah, it's just been really enjoyable, so I've really wanted to keep reading this. And it's getting me in the Christmas mood, which is all that I wanted from this video on these books. Hello again! So I just came back from the Christmas market actually. I went there with my colleagues and I had such a great time. And I just wanted to update you a little bit about my reading and all of the Christmas stuff. So the Christmas market was really, really lovely. It's a very small one, which is close to where I work. And we had all of the good stuff. I got invited to some drinks, and then we also had some like cheese fondue to eat. It was really delicious. And yeah, it was just overall a really nice evening. I haven't been that long in the team that I'm working at right now, so I got to know them a little bit better, which I think is always pretty important when you're just new at a team or a company. It's always good to partake in all of these social activities, even though it can be kind of overwhelming, at least for me. When I'm new somewhere, I always tend to get overwhelmed. And it's a bit stressful, but also really rewarding when you finally get to know them a bit better and you get more comfortable around them. So that was really nice. And then I also finished reading Merry Christmas, which ended up really cute. I really enjoyed that book. I even gave it 4 stars in the end, which is not something that I usually would give to a Christmas romance because yeah, it's just not my typical rating. I would say is 3 stars for everything that I read, and 4 stars has to be better than average, and then 5 stars has to really, yeah, just blow me away. And this one really stood out to me as a Christmas romance because it had a lot of depth to it. These two, you could really sense that they had a relationship before that book began. It was just really cute, and I thought all of the problems or things that they had to worked out really well. There was no unnecessary drama, no weird plot twists or third act somethings. So yeah, I really enjoyed it. And then I also started a new book already. I started listening to In Our Holidays by Christina Lauren. And so far by Christina Lauren, I've read some books that I really enjoyed and then others I didn't. So it's really hit or miss for me. And with this one, I think we are on a good way right now because I really enjoyed the beginning of it and it has an interesting premise. We follow this girl who goes on winter vacations with her family. It's actually quite similar to Merry Christmas in that sense, and it also is set in Utah, which I don't know if that in the US is just a very Christmassy area or it just gives off Christmas vibes. I have no clue. But this book is set there as well, and they're also staying in this kind of cabin, this house, and we start off with the main character being really, really upset because she kissed one of the brothers that she always spends Christmas with, and he is one of the family friends, but she is actually in love with his brother. So she made out with his brother, Theo, and she's actually in love with Andrew. And that, of course, is not a very good thing because she doesn't want to be with Theo, she wants to be with the other brother. Then they also learn that the house that they always spend Christmas at is supposed to be sold and they can't stay there anymore to spend Christmas there. And here comes the twist. when they leave from this house, she actually gets in a car accident with her family and then wakes up again on the flight to this vacation. So we have this kind of Groundhog Day scenario where she keeps repeating the same days over and over again. And it's always Christmas, and she's always reliving the days the same way, or she can manipulate them. She can do something different, but so far I don't know what the point is, or like she doesn't know what the purpose is in repeating these days or how she can get out of this loop. And that is very interesting and cool, and a spin on a Christmas romance that I haven't really seen yet. So I'm really excited about it, but also this isn't a very new scenario. So I'm interested to see where the authors are going to take this and yeah, just what it's going to end up being, because it's just a scenario that can really take you anywhere. It could either have something to do with preventing the house getting sold. It could have something to do with her restoring her family peace in some sort, her getting with one of the brothers or the other. And it could also be about some kind of big realization about family and what it means. And before she had that accident, she actually made a request to the universe and asking the universe, please show me what will make me happy. And I think that's such an interesting question to pose. And I'm wondering whether or not that will get answered over the course of the book, and whether she will realize what truly makes her happy. So yeah, that is a very interesting premise. I'm about 1/4 into the book already, so it is also a pretty fast-paced book, I would say, because you kind of repeat the same days, but there's always a different thing about these days that's being captured, or she's in new situations every single day, and right now she's kind of freaking out and yeah, just basically messing everything up on purpose, which is also really fun. She's kind of going a bit insane because she has to repeat the same day and she just doesn't want to do it anymore. And I think that's very fun for the reader, not for her, obviously. But yeah, it also has some kind of magical elements to it because of this whole universe, fate, Groundhog Day thing. So I'm really interested to see where the author will take this from here. And so far in this book, we obviously also have a lot of Christmassy elements, and it's really nice to see all of the family vibes, and it really feels like all of the characters have a very good connection to each other, and you can really see that they know each other and that they have spent a lot of time together, and there's a lot of build-up history also with her parents and yeah, the two brothers as well, which I always really like about romances, because it makes the characters multidimensional and it just makes them feel like real people. And that was also the case in Merry Christmas. Kind of the same situation as well, staying with the family. You can see that these people have history with each other. I already mentioned that when I talked about that book. So yeah, kind of interesting that I picked two books randomly without knowing what I was getting into that are so similar and yet very different. And in the second book, the romance is definitely not taking the center stage as much as it was in the first one. But that's also really fine for me, because kind of also in the mood for that, for a bit more of a storyline driven romance. So yeah, that's everything I can say about the book so far. Hello, I'm about to go to my office Christmas party, so I thought it would be a good time to update you on my Christmas reading again. And I honestly have to say I kind of forgot what the last point was where I updated you. But I'm now in the middle of Inner Holidays by Christina Lauren. And this book is really interesting in the sense of pacing and how this story is told, because I'm still not sure where this is going. I think what I already mentioned to you was that we have this time loop situation, and so we're repeating the same days over and over again. And of course the main character is slowly learning and realizing stuff, she is definitely realizing that sticking to tradition is not the most important thing, and that sometimes change can be a good thing, and that not everything going to plan can be a good thing. And she's also getting more confident with making decisions that are just for herself, which I really like. I really like that part of the storyline, that she kind of learns how to stand up for herself, how to express her needs and what she feels, and also act on these feelings and not just try to live her life for other people and for safety. And because she has the option to repeat things and do them over and over, she's kind of getting a bit more reckless. Not in a really dramatic way, except for maybe some parts, but like she just quit her job. But other than that, she's not doing any real harm or anything that would be really shocking. But it's really nice to kind of see her finding that confidence and acting on what she really feels, and just the situation giving her the courage to do things that she would normally do. Now, all of that being said, I'm really interested to see where this is going, because at one point the story is going to hopefully just continue and not repeat itself over and over. And I'm still not sure what I'm thinking about the brother dynamic, because as I said in the first part of it, in the very, very beginning, we had this scene where she makes out with the younger brother, and now actually she's into the older one. And yeah, we kind of also explored that now, and I'm a bit confused. I do like the relationship between the two, but also, like, why did you do that in the first place then? But maybe it was just a start to see how it would be good for her to do things over. And that's why they chose that as an introduction, maybe. I don't know. So we have that storyline going on now. We have her basically hating her job. We have the whole parent situation who are divorced and still celebrating every single Christmas together, which is obviously also not easy. And then we also have the house situation which is supposed to get sold. The house doesn't belong to her family, it belongs to the brother's parents. So we have that situation as well, which is not resolved yet. And I'm kind of losing the focus a little bit. What is the point of the story? I'm sure I will realize that when I finish it, but I don't know right now. And that's kind of, yeah, it's losing me a little bit in the middle there, but it's fine. I did like a lot of the parts and a lot of the Christmas tradition that they had, and also breaking with the Christmas traditions, like choosing an ugly tree, for example, not looking for the best one. Yeah, there's just some small things that are really nice, and the relationship development is also really cute. There's part of it that I like so far, and other parts that just left me a bit confused of why we were choosing to go that way. But still, so far I would say it's pretty enjoyable one, because it's definitely not your typical Christmas romance. But I think this is one of these romances where the rating of how good it is really going to depend on what the ending is like and how we're going to resolve this whole time loop situation. So I'm really excited to see how all of that will work out in the end. And yeah, now I'm going to go to my Christmas holiday evening party, I don't know. It's going to be at the office with my old team, and we are all going to bring something to eat, and it's also kind of going to be my celebration of leaving the team. It's not really a celebration, but you know, kind of like a farewell, and therefore I kind of felt a bit of pressure to bring something nice. I decided to make some tiramisu dessert, and yeah, that's what I'm going to bring. I hope it's not going to be too emotional, but I haven't left the company, I'm just at a new team, so it's not that dramatic. But I am really happy to see all of my colleagues again, because we work from home a lot, and some of them came from a little bit further away, so it's really nice to meet them again and see them in person and be able to chat again and catch up on what I've missed in the last few months. And yeah, that's what I'm going to do tonight. Ready to be in the festive Christmas mood with probably too many sweets and maybe also some mulled wine. or what I really prefer, the children's version of that, which is without alcohol and just kind of like warm fruit juice. That's really delicious. So I'm going to go now, and I will see you when I finish in holidays. It's time for an update. I've done quite a few Christmassy things over the last days and I had so much fun. Today I just came back from watching the Wicked film in theaters and it was amazing. I've seen the musical in London last year and that was so good. I think it's my favorite musical that I've ever seen, so that really says something. And the film was also really great. I really liked the actors in the film. I loved the voices of Ariana Grande and Cynthia Erivo. I just think they're so incredibly talented and there would have been no one else who could have done it like them, probably. And I really liked their performance and their take on Glinda and Elphaba. It was just, it was really cool. My friend was there for the weekend, so we had a great time together. And before this weekend, I also went to the Christmas market, actually multiple times. And I also went ice skating and that was a lot of fun. I love ice skating. I wish I could do it more often, but it's just not the most convenient thing to do. And I also have a lot of other hobbies, so that's not that easy. And it has been quite a few years since I've been ice skating. I think probably already like 5 years ago, something like that. And I'm really glad that I still was doing fine and I still remembered how to do it, basically. I'm not good, but it's very fun. And I also finished reading Inner Holidays, which I have to say, that book wasn't the best thing I've ever read. I mean, the premise in itself was really interesting, and staying in this time loop around the holidays was actually something that I was really excited about. But then I really didn't enjoy the brother love triangle thing that was going on. I just thought it was really weird and not really thought through that much. And I just thought it was so awkward and there wasn't really a good resolution for it. And if it had just been the love story between the two of them, that would have been sufficient. The brother didn't really need to be involved in this. I think the stakes would have been high enough if it was just about her finally getting with the boy that she was interested in her whole life and that she wanted to date her whole life, and that she gets out of this time loop without messing up her relationship with him. But the whole thing with the other brother was just thrown in there to get some drama into this and higher stakes, but I thought that was really unnecessary and, I don't know, just plain weird. Because I really felt bad for the other brother. That was just, I didn't enjoy it. But enough about this book, because I've started another one that I really wanted to talk to you about because I love it so far. And I'm already 50% in because it's a really short one. It is called Cruel Winter with You and it is by Ellie Hazelwood. And this is the second Ellie Hazelwood book that I'm reading now over the course of this bookmas, and I think I actually really enjoy Ellie Hazelwood books, and I'm so happy that I found that out and that I found her books now, and I'm really looking forward to reading more of her books next year. And I think I'm definitely going to do like a reading vlog where I only read Ellie Hazelwood books because that has been fun. And Cruel Winter with You is a novella that is set in Illinois. It is about these two friends who know each other from high school, and Mark is actually her best friend's little brother, and they have spent a lot of time together as they were children, and we know that he has
had this infatuation with her for a really long time. And we also learn that in the present day, there is something between them that has gone wrong, really wrong, and there's this huge tension between them. And she just had to go over to his house to borrow a frying pan or something like that because her dad sent her there, and there's this huge snowstorm, and she now has to stay there. So they basically have to talk to each other, and we are about to find out what the reason is for their fallout and why they're actually not talking to each other anymore. I am so excited to find that out, and even though the story is so short, the character introduction was really good, and the stakes and the tension and just everything. I am really excited about that, and I think this is going to be the perfect ending for this Christmas vlog because it's such a short one, and I'm just really looking forward for something short and light and sweet. And I hope that there is a good reason for them having this fallout and not talking to each other, and that it will also be resolved in a great way in the end. And yeah, I'm just really excited to see. And I will update you one last time when I have finished this book. I just put up these Christmas lights on my shelf, so I have some more light inside of my little sleeping nook. And I'm really liking this. This looks great. And this is what it looks like from the other side. Isn't that cute? I think it's really cute. At least now I have some kind of festive decoration on my shelves and also in my room, because I just didn't decorate for Christmas that much. At least I have some lights up now. Hello for the final update. So last night I finished Cruel Winter with You by Ellie Hazelwood, and my expectations were met. It was such a nice romance, and it was really good that I updated you at the point where I did, because after that I kept crying for the whole end of the book, more or less. And not because something particularly bad was happening, but just because I thought, oh my god, this is so freaking cute. And I would die if somebody made a declaration of love like this one. That was exceptional. And to evoke that kind of emotion with a book that short is really something that amazes me. And I think Ellie Hazelwood did such a great job with this. And I have to say, I was a bit hesitant at first going into this because the title, Cruel Winter with You, obviously is a Taylor Swift reference. And I don't like that much if people make Taylor Swift references in book titles. So I was really like, okay, is this going to work for me or not? Is it going to be really cheesy? But it wasn't. Okay, it kind of was. Whatever. I loved it. And of course, for the fallout that the two main characters had, there had to be some kind of misunderstanding. And to pull off this trope and then manage to do it well in such a short book is just really, really good. I especially like the male main character in this book. You could really feel how certain he was about his feelings for the heroine, and it was just so beautiful. And I feel like that was the perfect ending for this vlog, because even though the whole story wasn't really centered around Christmas all that much, it is just set around Christmas time and it doesn't really talk about any of the festivities or anything. Just this deeply, deeply romantic feeling, and this whole Christmas spirit is something that you could get from this book. And I'm really happy with that one being my last one for this vlog. Thank you so much for staying with me until the end. I hope you have some great holidays, no matter if you're celebrating Christmas or not. I hope you're having a good winter time, and I had a really good time filming this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, then please don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already. And I will see you in my next video tomorrow. Bye!